Hello and welcome to the Catholic Focus on Capuchin TV, and it's always a pleasure to have you with us. So, today being World Kidney Day, we have a message for you from an expert. Stay tuned. My name is Deborah Mane and our sign language interpreter is Samuel Wainaina. We begin from the Vatican, and last evening the Holy See Press Office provided the medical update on Pope Francis, who has been receiving care at Rome's Gemelli Hospital since February 14th. In the update, it is said, and I quote, "The clinical condition of the Holy Father has remained stable in the context of a complex overall medical picture. The chest X-ray performed yesterday has radiologically confirmed the improvements observed in the previous days. The Holy Father continues to undergo high-flow oxygen therapy during the day and non-invasive mechanical ventilation during the nighttime rest." End of quote. We continue to pray for the Holy Father for a quick recovery. The Kidney Day 2025 under the theme, "Are Your Kidneys Okay? Detect Early, Protect Kidney Health." The spotlight falls on the growing burden of kidney disease in Kenya, with an estimated 4 million Kenyans currently affected and projections indicating a rise to 4.3 million by 2030. Early detection and awareness are crucial to understand how to manage and combat this growing health burden. We spoke with a doctor at Kasarani Community Hospital, and this is what she had to say.
I would advise people that, number one, take care of your lifestyle, because that's the first thing in terms of preventing development of the conditions that will eventually lead you to getting kidney problems. Number two, take care of your diet. Number three, if you have any lifestyle conditions like diabetes and hypertension, it's important that you make sure that your management is, very good. And that means, number one, being compliant to your medication. Number two, regular monitoring, and not just from hospital, but also self-monitoring, because it is you at home who will notice that something is wrong and then take yourself to hospital. Number three, I would advise on regular clinic follow-up, because this is where we can be able to detect development of some of these issues. And then I would also advise that even if you're healthy, at least once or twice a year, just visit a hospital and have some of these tests done on you, so that you can be able to be sure that, you are doing okay. For the patients who have kidney problems, I would like to encourage you and say, this is something that is manageable, and this is something that so many people are living with. And even if you develop a kidney problem today, it does not necessarily mean that this will be your life. And even if it is something that we can be able to manage, and we can be able to give you at least a normal life. Okay. So they should not lose hope, and they should continue to come to the hospital so that we can be able to monitor and see progression of their symptoms and such things. But my number one take-home message is just a question, are your kidneys okay?
The Clinical Officers Union has called off its 23-day strike, urging its members to resume work in the next 24 hours. This follows the signing of a return to work formula in an event at the Ministry of Health headquarters, witnessed by both the ministry and county government officials. Diana Mushai is our reporter.
According to the clinical officers, the key issue that involves empaneling of its member institutions under the Social Health Authority has been addressed and needs to come into effect immediately.
Having agreed and executed this agreement, the union has made decision to call off the strike, and our members are advised to resume duty immediately and not later than the next 24 hours.
And I appreciate the Ministry and the Council of Governors, because they have given their commitment to fast track the completion of the CBA, and also that now we can jointly be able to ensure that by the time the contracts for the UHC come to an end, they will be absorbed as had been agreed upon, and also to deliberate and ensure that also the internship is streamlined, because we have been having hiccups with posting of internship, I think, for the past 3-4 years.
Consequently, the leadership has agreed to continue engaging on other matters in the collective bargaining agreement in an effort to forestall strikes.
My ministry remains open to ensuring that the needs of both healthcare workers and the public are met and or addressed in a timely manner. I reaffirm my commitment to the public to ensure that quality, affordable and accessible healthcare services reach all individuals in line with the government's pledge to leave no one behind.
I'm not saying this only for the team that's here, but just for all healthcare workers out there. We value you, we respect you, we need you, you're indispensable. But please, also, let's see how not to disrupt services for the Kenyans that are suffering.
Reporting for Catholic Focus, I am Diana Muchai.
On matters education, the Ministry of Education in Kenya's Central Region has urged parents and the community to embrace the talents and skills for the children, as the competence-based curriculum focuses on nurturing the students' ability, including arts and sports science. This call was made by the ministry officials during the ongoing performing arts competition at Murang'a Boys High School. Our reporter Susan Bulemi has more.
During the competition, education officials stressed that these arts can provide children with job opportunities and that it is important for parents and the community at large to support these efforts to help students develop their talents and build skills necessary for their future lives.
These are activities that sometimes we can call that the pre-career exposure, because many of the learners that participate in drama are prepared to join theater, and later on they can even earn from it. So we are talking from this point as a team of the Regional Education Office and appealing to all the teachers, all the principals and the other stakeholders, especially the parents, that we support the learners who have a disposition or interest in the performing arts.
At Equity Bank, we are urging our communities, our parents, and even the guardians to come in and join hand to encourage our children, because we can see they are very much gifted. And we can say that even today, that since we have even social media, we have many other ways of making money. We need to encourage our children so that we can be able to benefit from these talents that God has endowed on us.
Other stakeholders in the competition have added that despite the growth of technology, students should be helped to use that technology to develop themselves in the arts and talents.
This festival aims most at helping students to make use of the internet or the technology that has come up to leverage their talents. In other words, they are going to use that technology to help grow their talents, but at the same time, we are also intending to inculcate the national values for socio and economic prosperity.
Students who are participating in the competition have expressed their expectations of being able to develop their talents.
Technology as a whole helps us create awareness on matters that people didn't even know about, such as drugs. Maybe someone somewhere thinks that doing drugs is maybe a cool thing or something, but then when we do it in drama and we show the negative outcome of drugs, or we do it on set in front of the camera and everything, we show the negative impact of drugs.
Reporting for Catholic Focus, my name is Susan Bulemi.
On to Kisii County. The mysterious disease that has sparked fear in Kisii County for over a month continues to be a concern, with 11 new cases reported in the last 24 hours, bringing the total number of affected individuals to 168. According to the Public of Health and Professional Standards Principal Secretary Mary Muthoni, the Ministry of Health is working closely with the Kisii County government to curb the spread. Efforts include distributing aqua tablets and promoting proper hygiene practices. As part of the containment measures, the ministry has also announced plans to deworm school-going children and treat drinking water in affected areas. Authorities urge residents to remain vigilant and adhere to health guidelines. The disease has affected over 200 residents in the region with the symptoms including severe diarrhea, bloody stools, fever, and intense headaches.
At least in the last 24 hours, we have seen 11 new cases that were reported, bringing to a total number of confirmed cases to 168. The outbreak has primarily affected 8 villages, with Amarondo village accounting to 64% of the reported cases. Preliminary laboratory investigations have confirmed contamination of water sources, which is a significant contributor to the outbreak and hence making the water unsafe for consumption. There is therefore need for urgent interventions to ensure that the water is safe for consumption. And to mitigate further spread of the water treatment, water treatment is rolled out, including distribution of 44,350 aqua tabs to the affected households to improve water safety. Community engagement remains a critical pillar of the response. Community sensitization, again, efforts are underway with CHPs conducting door-to-door sensitization to educate the residents on water treatment and sanitation, poor hygiene practices, and safe water treatment methods. Additionally, mass deworming exercises are planned for school-going children to prevent further health complications.
And as African traditions come to fade among younger generations, the Abafofoyo clan of the Marachi community in Busia County remains steadfast in upholding an age-old funeral rite. According to their custom, a son-in-law is not allowed to attend the funeral service of his in-laws. Instead, he is only permitted to join the mourning period after the burial, following a special induction ceremony. This tradition was recently observed in Butunyi village, Butula constituency, and our reporter Asasha Elizabeth takes us through its significance in this special news feature.
In many African communities, cultural traditions are slowly being eroded, but for the Abafofoyo clan, some customs remain sacred. One such tradition bars a son-in-law from attending the burial ceremony of his in-laws. Instead, he can only set foot in the homestead after the burial during a ceremonial welcome filled with dance and music. Such was the case for Samuel Baker, who lost his father-in-law. Following the burial, he was received into the home with traditional song and dance, as per the clan's long-held customs. According to Patrick Were, an elder from the clan, the son-in-law is strictly forbidden from attending the burial service. He is later granted permission to enter the homestead in a structured manner.
Maana ya sisi kuwa hapa kwa siku ya leo ni ya kwamba kufuatana na kimila ya watu wa Luhya hasa wa Marachi, ni kwamba kama umepoteza baba mkwe, sisi hatukuwa tunaruhusiwa kwenda kama mtoto mwenye ameoa msichana wa huyo mzee, haturuhusiwi kwenda huko kabla hawajamzika. Sasa katiba yetu ya Waluhya inasema wewe utakaa, mama zako na baba zako ndio ataenda huko kabla hawajamzika, wanaita hudaba. Wakienda, wakimaliza watarudi, watatuma, itakuwa kwamba lazima tupate mboga yenye watu watakula huko kwa matanga.
As a sign of deep respect, the grave of the deceased is covered with a blanket before the son-in-law is allowed to set foot in the compound. The elders strongly hold that this ritual symbolizes respect and strengthens family bonds. They urge the younger generation to preserve and uphold the cultural practices passed down through generations.
Let's break the ice. Mimi ndio wa kwanza nifanye, ndio wengine wafanye. So kumzika baba mkwe, lazima nije na zile traditional drums zetu, na hiyo pembe inaitwa luika, hiyo the horn, to mourn my father-in-law. So mimi nitakaa kule nje, wamuzike, wakishamuzika hiyo kaburi wataifunika na blanketa mashuka. Mimi nitakuja nikiimba na ngoma zangu na wananchi pale wakifurahia, na niwe na pesa kiasi hivi narusha pale juu peremende, ile watu kung'ang'ania. Hiyo ni furaha kwa yule marehemu, na hiyo tumefanya mara 4, manake ni mwanaume. Tunaenda kwa kaburi, tunarudi kwa gate, kwa kaburi kwa gate, mpaka mara 4 tunarusha pale juu pesa. Unajua mtu akitoka hapa mwingine na hiyo shilingi kwa mfuko atakumbuka hii shilingi ilikuwa kwa ile mazishi ya yule mzee. Ndio hiyo pesa tunarusha tunapeana. Na kule kwa hiyo kaburi sasa mali mfike mambo ya blanketi, hiyo no go zone. What they do that grave I'm not even supposed to know. Hiyo sasa ni mambo ya watu ya boma hapa.
As the world rapidly changes, the question remains, will such traditions stand the test of time, or are they slowly fading into history? Time will tell. Asasha Elizabeth, reporting for the Catholic Focus, Capuchin TV, Nairobi.
Such interesting feature there. And that brings us to the end of our today's edition on Catholic Focus. My name is Deborah Mwanya, and our sign language interpreter has been Samuel Wainaina. Today being the 12th anniversary of Pope Francis' papacy, I leave you with his brief life story.
Leo katika historia. Baba Mtakatifu Francisco. Siku kama ya leo tarehe 13 mwezi wa 3 mwaka 2013 ndiyo siku Askofu Mkuu Jorge Mario Bergoglio alipochaguliwa kuwa Baba Mtakatifu. Alichukua jina Francis kwa heshima ya Mtakatifu Francis wa Assisi. Alizaliwa Buenos Aires, Argentina tarehe 17 mwezi wa 12 mwaka 1936. Ndiye Baba Mtakatifu wa kwanza kutoka shirika la Jesuit, wa kwanza kutokea nchi za Marekani na wa kwanza kulelewa nje ya Ulaya tangu Baba Mtakatifu wa karne ya 8 Gregory wa 3 kutoka Syria. Alifuzu kwa diploma ya ufundi wa kemikali na akafanya kazi katika maabara, na tena aliwahi kuwa bouncer na caretaker. Alijiunga na shirika la Jesuits baada ya kupona maradhi ya pneumonia na uvimbe yaliyohatarisha maisha yake. Alipadirishwa mwaka 1969, akatawazwa kuwa askofu msaidizi mwaka 1992, akawa askofu mkuu mwaka wa 1998 na kufanywa kuwa kardinali mwaka wa 2001. Uongozi wake umekuwa wa unyenyekevu, kuwajali maskini, utunzaji wa mazingira, upatanishi wa dini mbalimbali na mageuzi muhimu katika kanisa. Kwa sasa, Baba Mtakatifu Francisco amelazwa hospitalini kwa maradhi ya pneumonia. Tuzidi kumuombea uponyaji ili aendelee kuliongoza taifa la Mungu. Tunamtakia heri ya miaka 12 ya upapa.